We're back in Hungary for the first time since 2014 and perfect weather conditions, sunshine and dry. The dream of the DTM championship for the Mercedes driver Robert Wittmann seems to be nearly over now. Third in the championship, he only qualifies P18, not the position to fight for the title. The only hope is that maybe Marco Wittmann in Hungary will have problems. Wittmann is the best BMW and the second best driver who's not steering an Audi on P10. What a qualifying for Audi, though. Top 8 places all going their way. P3, Miguel Molina, chance for the Spanish driver to score his first points after 10 races. And P4 in the championship and P4 on the grid is Jamie Green. Edoardo Mortara, though, is the hardest opponent of Wittmann. He's starting from pole position. Into the garages then, ahead of the race getting underway. First of all, BMW, now Uli Fritz there at Mercedes-Benz, and Dieter Gas and Wolfgang Ullrich and Hans-Jürgen Abt in the Audi garages. Edoardo Mortara stays in front of Green and Molina at the start. But on the inside, Wittmann is very strong, overtaking Felix Rosenqvist. Daniel Juncker hung out to dry a little bit on the grass as they all head downhill into the right-hander, which is turn number 1. They continue to go downhill before taking turn number 2. And Matthias Ekström in problems there. Also going around is Martin Tomczyk, all caused perhaps by Maxime Martin, one of the Muka Motorsport Mercedes-Benz drivers, having to take a really decisive action there to avoid the two of them. But this is Edoardo Mortara leading Jamie Green through the turn 6 and 7 chicane here at the Hungaroring. Marco Wittmann, P7, and a good beginning of the race for Robert Wittmann, improving from P17 to P10, even if he has a slight braking mistake in this situation. Tough fights in the backfield. Paul di Resta attacked by Antonio Felix da Costa, who leaves the DTM, of course, after this season. Paul di Resta, sadly, the damage inflicted upon his car would mean that he would have to retire from the race. Just behind them, Matthias Ekström and Gary Pavitt having a good battle, as well as we see Paul di Resta into his garage. So, I mentioned this fight between Ekström and Pavitt, and it's the fight for P19. At the top, Edoardo Mortara and Jamie Green are 5 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. So, all the Audi drivers can do really is fight amongst themselves. And this is Nico Müller making a move on Adrien Tombe to take P5, although Tombe wasn't too strong in his defence of that. And at the end of the field, Augusto Farfus and Matthias Ekström are fighting for P18. Ekström can pass Farfus, goes wide, and so the one that benefits is Christian Vitoris, who takes both of them. Thank you very much indeed. The BMW mechanics at least are satisfied with the P7 position of Marco Wittmann, and in the end it was a real demonstration of the dominance of Audi. 6 Audis in front of the rest. Edoardo Mortara wins and is back in the fight for the championship. That causes celebrations for Dr. Wolfgang Ullrich and also for Hans-Jürgen Abt on the pit wall as well. Here comes the result in full then. Mortara, Green, Molina, the 1, 2, 3, and let's hear from our race winner now.
Closing the gap, like you said, on Wittmann, and it's looking a little bit better. It's still not looking good, but tomorrow there is another day, and we are going to push as much as today, and hopefully, we can close even more the gap.
Well, there in the Drivers' Championship, it's 176 points for Marco Wittmann. Edoardo Mortara has closed the gap to 162 and has made sure that his team boss Hans-Jürgen Abt is suitably soaked in champagne ahead of race number 2.